So Ted, a random curveball for you. What did you think of the video I sent you?
It was actually hilarious. It's like
Yeah,
more or less something that like broke the ice before like this whole interview and all that. It was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie,
it
it
was
was actually
completely
good.
random. It's just in a clip I saw a while ago, and then I went through my liked on Twitter and saw
Yeah.
that clip again, and I'm like, damn, I rewatched it for maybe 15 minutes because it's just so good. I thought I'll send it to you as well. It's anyone interested, look on Discover the Real World, look through the likes. It's one of the ones at the very top. I might actually add a link to it as well in the description of the video. If you want to brighten up your day, just look at that video. It's about the Tate brothers being the best comedians on the
No,
planet.
because generally I looked at the tweets, I looked at the link and I was like, okay, is this serious? Is there maybe like how I'm supposed to talk? Is that like do I really have to should I pull a James Bond? Like what am I supposed to do? Is this like a list of requirements of like how I'm supposed to be and all that? And then I just watched the video. I watched the video and I was like, oh, that's it's actually funny.
Mm.
It's actually funny. So it was actually a surprise because I did not expect it. I thought I thought I was being interrogated. Like there was gonna be like questions that I had to
Yeah.
answer and all that. So I was like, damn. So anyway, that was a good surprise and I actually liked the video.
Good, good, good. I'm glad that was the result. So, Ted, it's been 3 months since our interview. How has everything been for you since then?
So far everything has just skyrocketed, more or less. I'm just making more and more money now. My fashion has improved like significantly since last time. So yeah, other than me making the money, balling and all that, now now I'm just more or less a way better person. Like my physique has changed. I've lost much more weight than I did last time. I'm less crusty than I was last time. But yeah, these are not spectacles, these are just glasses. So I've just leveled up like consistently, like through the last interview incentivized me to more or less stay in the real world, keep watching the videos, keep learning and all that. And staying in the real world more or less did not just improve my life in terms of finances, it improved my life just more or less in general. Because now there's a fitness campus. So instead of paying for a personal trainer, you could just pay $49 and just get like personal training like instantly, right? I learned how to talk. I learned how to like, how to communicate, how to articulate myself properly. And as much as I've just noticed that I say the word like a lot, which is something that I have to stop. But all in all, it has just been fantastic. So far, it's been a lovely experience. I've been joining the live calls, and I've just learned how to manage money, how to yes make money, but at the same time learn how to spend money. Because again, learning how to spend money is very, very, very essential, and that's something the real world teaches you. Because out there in the world, people just tell you, "Oh, be frugal, oh, save money, this, that, and the other," which is total garbage. With the real world, however, you're taught yes, you have to make money, but then at the same time, spend it appropriately, invest it appropriately, spend that money on learn on buying AI software that will help enable your work, sorry, which will enable you to work more effectively, this, that, and the other, and all that. So all in all, the real world has just been, it just gets better by the day. The information just gets way and way better. It's more and more it's updated in real time every single day. And so for $49, as in it's just a masterclass it's just a masterclass of a course, more or less.
Mhm. Okay, so a lot to go into there. First thing is, so you're saying if you don't go to Starbucks and don't spend money on coffee, you won't save yourself to a million?
You can't save yourself to a million. That's just it's a lie. Because here's the thing: when you try and be frugal and you try and save money, number one, you tell yourself that you're incapable of making more and more money. Number two, it's you kind of communicate to yourself that look, yeah, since I'm not spending that much money, I can just be complacent. And in the long run, it just comes to screw you over. Again, you're looking at the inflation. You can't save your way out of this. Frugality as a whole, for the most part, is stupid. Like here's the thing: I bought a new laptop. It cost me $1,200, but it has made me much, much, much more money. Because before, actually, like during the last interview, I had a garbage laptop. It was horrible. Like editing on that thing was a nightmare. I paid for the laptop. This is actually like what I'm using to like talk to you and all that. Paid for this laptop, and that was by far the best investment ever because it literally got me to like 4K a month. like just instantly, because you can just work. I'm able to work much quicker. I'm able to do my work at a faster rate, and I'm just able to like deliver client results quickly. So that gives me time to like close more clients and all that. And just speed is necessary. So yeah, frugality is just stupid. It's an idiotic concept.
Right. Great clarification there.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was obviously satire, if that's the right word for what I was saying. So yeah, you followed that very nicely. So in terms of clients, 3 months ago, how has everything scaled? How did you acquire new clients? How did you get to 4,000 a month?
Okay, so I was on 3K a month, and I ended up upselling. Like, okay, one of my clients wants me to manage more of their YouTube channels because they're just building up like this whole media company and all that. And so they wanted me to manage more of their YouTube channels. They want to bring in more and more content creators. So they want me to like edit for the new content creators that they're gonna be bringing in. Plus, at the same time, just manage their channel and all that stuff. So I ended up making, so that was like one of the areas in which I got my extra side of income. And then like another person reached out to me saying that they loved my work, they loved my shots. They got referrals from my current clients and I was able to close them. And at the same time, also another one of my clients has an Instagram page. So he wants to start an Instagram page because he has YouTube Shorts, he has TikTok, but then we realized that he wasn't utilizing the Instagram Reels. So I was able to upsell Instagram management services to him. And then at the same time also, I'm currently learning long form editing. So now with this long form editing, I'm able to again upsell to my current clients ways. I'm able to upsell my services to my current clients and all that, and at the same time acquire new clients. So more or less with my current clients, I can already make more and more money off of them, and at the same time with like my other clients, like the clients that I'll acquire in the future, which will get me to like 10K a month easily. That's also another opportunity to gain more clients, make more money, and at the same time upsell your services to your current clients. So that's actually a game for the people who are watching, whereby you don't have to constantly go after new clients and all that. You can simply upsell your services to your current clients. You can simply identify something within their brand or their business. You can just more or less notice that maybe there's a weakness that needs to be improved, there's something that needs to be worked on and all that. And within the process, when these people see that, yes, I have a weakness, the person who's telling me this, he's done ABCD for me, and this guy knows what he's talking about. I can entrust him with this task and he will not disappoint me and all that. Therefore, yeah, this guy can definitely take my money. So, yeah, you don't have to make your money off of acquiring new clients. You can, but there's also the alternative of upselling your services or what you're offering to your current clients. So, yeah, that's just game for the people who are watching.
Nice, thank you. And how different is the process of long form editing compared to short form?
Okay, so with short form editing, it's more or less a grab for attention. So more or less, it's kind of, how do I put it? It's not it's different, but not that different at the same time. If you catch my drift, because with short form edits, you're more or less trying to get this person. It's a fight for attention. Literally, it's literally a fight for attention. So you have to make sure the color correction is on point. You have to make sure that when it comes to the captions, they are on point, clean, cut, and all that stuff. As in, it's more or less it's a fight for attention with short form content. Whereas the long form editing, you're more or less trying to help the content creator tell a story in a very captivating way. You're trying to more or less help them get their message out there, and you're trying to help them get their message out there, and you're also doing whatever you can in your power to help them build a loyal fan base, because that's what they want at the end of the day. So you want to make sure that you're editing in a way like with multiple things, like be it with the music, be it with like with the animations that you use and all that. You're helping them communicate a message. Whereas with short form content, you really don't have that much time. So it's more or less with short form, it's a fight for attention. But then at the same time, you're trying to more or less help these people. It's more or less the same thing. It's kind of like the same thing, but it's also different at the same time. I'm sorry, I'm a bit all over the place, but with short
Okay.
form edits, it's a fight for attention, and at the same time, it's a funnel to long form edits. Whereas with long form edits, you're more or less trying to help the person that you're doing your edits for get their message out there. So that's the difference between short form and long form editing. Short form deals more with attention. Long form is more or less trying to build a loyal fan base. So yeah,
Mhm.
short form content is a funnel.
Okay, got it. Thank you for the explanation. So when you said you want to scale to 10K a month, are you planning on doing that by yourself or outsourcing as well?
So I've already outsourced. Like one of my, I actually outsourced this to like one of my friends, like with the managing of the channels and all that. So more or less, I'll send out what needs to be clipped for that day. Then my friend helps me out with the clipping, the thumbnails, and all that. I'm also looking at actually this month. I'm going to hire somebody to help me out with the short form edits. That way, I can focus a lot more on long form content, and I can get to 10K a month much faster. Because yeah, you can sit down, you can more or less work by yourself, but then at the same time, you have the financial freedom, but you don't have the time freedom, which is it's at some point you will have to delegate your tasks to people. And like again, this is why, going back to my point on frugality, that's why being frugal as a whole is not a very clever concept. It's not a clever mentality to have, because yeah, you might think to yourself that okay, I'm gonna save money by not hiring people, but in the long term, it will just mess up your business because you'll be so exhausted and you won't have the time to focus on the important tasks. So your business just ends up tanking. So it's
Mhm.
just not worth being frugal. So definitely, I'm going to be hiring somebody at the end of this month. Next month, I'm gonna make more money. Then I'll be able to like outsource my work to other people. This, that, and other, and then just slowly grow an agency out of that.
Mhm. Has it been difficult for you to find competent people to outsource to, or are you just doing it to friends for now?
Okay. Unfortunately, yes, with the outsourcing, because you'll tend to find that people want to do the work. Like, sorry, not do the work. It's like people want the money, but then at the same time, they really don't have that hustler spirit. And more in business, especially with the freelancing and all that, if you want to succeed in the long run, you need to have a team of hustlers and all that. My friend, I have a friend who's like him, the person who I outsource some of my stuff to. The guy is a hustler. That guy is a hard worker and all that. He's just a fantastic person to work with. Very easy to work with. So it's very easy to like work. It's very easy to work with people who are hustlers and all that. And unfortunately, it's very hard to find hustlers because yeah, you'll probably go to a site like Fiverr. The edits are garbage. These people really don't they don't have that hustler spirit. They're not really willing to do what it takes to succeed. Some of them will ask stupid questions. You'll find that one of the person who claims that they're video editors does not know like the basics of editing. They don't know what motion tracking is, what using a keyframe is, what color correction is. So it's just it's difficult, but then at the same time, it's just like finding clients. When you're finding a client, it's going to be hard, but then at the same time, you don't need that many people to make money. You need about like 3 to 5 people to earn a stable living. Whereas on the other hand, whereas with employees, it's also very similar. Because you'll even notice, you look at some companies out there and they have all these employees, but then like half of the workforce is just brutally incompetent, brutally lazy, and all that. And artificial intelligence is going to replace those types of people. And when we saw Elon Musk firing people from Twitter and all that, it just proved that with companies, you don't all you need is a team of hustlers. A few hustlers is way better than 1,000 people who are just incompetent and don't care about what they're trying to do and all that stuff. So yeah.
Okay, very interesting. Thank you for the insights. So, in terms of time, since you're trying to outsource to get more time, how are you currently doing in that area?
In terms of time management, so last time my time on with the last within the last interview, my time management was not really the best. Yes, I'd edit, but I'd take so much time editing. That was before I discovered some various AI stuff that you can implement. That was before I started like going to the real world and again learning forms of editing videos, like how to be the most efficient at your craft and at the same time put out quality. So after the interview, I went back to the real world. I started watching the videos, and then I discovered that there are much more efficient ways of editing videos. At the same time, also, I came to discover that there are plenty of the many parts of the day whereby I tend to waste time. Like I'll go through my phone, I'll probably go to the washroom. I'll probably start walking around the house and all that. It's like I'll find reasons to waste time because it's uncomfortable sitting down and actually working. Like it's not the most fun thing to do. But then I ended up and but then Andrew Tate put out a video on where like speed is extremely important. And just how when you're not somebody who moves quickly, you're not someone who gets things done quickly, you become somebody who's easily replaceable. So when I found that video, so when Andrew Tate kept on talking about speed and like how you're supposed to work quickly and get things done quickly, that literally scared me into just sitting down and just getting focused and hammering down. So in as much as I take on more work now, I get more work done 50 times faster because of what I've been taught about, because of what I've been taught inside the real world, and at the same time just following through Tate's tenants, business tenants, and just how he emphasizes the importance of speed and just moving quickly and just being competent and just being a professional in general.
Okay, very nice. And now I want to go back to when you said fashion. How are you learning about fashion?
Fashion. So I was inspired by the Tates. So there's this black t-shirt that I'm wearing. I also saw Tate putting on like a white t-shirt, and then there are also some black tracksuits that he has on. So I was like, okay, let me copy that. Then I went to Jay Waller. I was like, oh, okay, this guy actually has good suits and all that. Let me implement that. Same thing with Sterling Cooper and also Tristan Tate. It's like all those people, more or less, I got to learn a lot about fashion from them. I've also been watching the sartorial shooter of late, and the sartorial shooter just dresses like a G. He's like James Bond, but like slightly older. He's like an older version of James Bond, but that guy is just a G. So yeah, I learned from them. At the same time, I've been looking through Dylan Madden's fashion because also Dylan Madden, when it comes to casual wear, he knows how to dress properly. I haven't seen him in official, but with casual wear, that guy is a boss. And then at the same time with Andrew Bass, there are t-shirts that he tend to wear that kind of show off his gains. And also at the same time, I've been looking at this Professor Arno, and I just love his suits game. Like that guy, he knows how to put on suits and all that. So yeah, so I've more or less been inspired by those people to level up my fashion and all that good stuff. So yeah.
When you said about Arno, every one of his business lessons, I remember going through them. I think it's the sales, seduction. I can't
Yeah,
remember
SSS,
social
social.
skills. Like yeah,
Yeah, Lord.
and that one, he every single video he's wearing a different combination of suit. Just I don't know if you
Exactly.
noticed as well, but yeah.
Exactly. And then also with Arno, one thing I really like about Arno is that Arno, yeah, the guy will dress professionally and all that. And this actually with all the professors in the real world. Yes, they will sit down and teach you about wealth creation, but they're not geeky about it. It's not like a class whereby, oh, you have to take notes, this, that, and other. They all they do is they cut through the bullshit and they more or less just get straight to the point. Like they'll simply tell you, okay, this is what you have to do, this, that, and the other. Belief is very important. I love how they emphasize on mindset. And again, all these things, productivity, speed, all these things you'll be taught by these people. And one thing you'll realize when you join the real world is that when you're talking to millionaires, people who've actually, you're not talking to a bunch of like crypto kids and all that. You're talking to a bunch of millionaires who have done the work, who've who've more or less started businesses, they failed this, that, and the other. And so those life experiences turn them into people who actually know what they're talking about. They're not geeks, they're not being taught by nerds and all that. They've mastered social skills and they know exactly how to convey a message to you in the most entertaining way possible. So yes, you're gonna learn a lot about money within a short time frame. And at the same time, these people are actually interesting to listen to. They're interesting because I mean you can only imagine if you're handpicked by a guy like Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate isn't going to choose a bunch of geeks, a bunch of losers, a bunch of
Hmm.
nerds. He's going to pick people who actually are living the life that they're living. Like the professors literally practice what they preach. You cannot compare the real world to a university professor. People will come and say that, oh, the real world is a scam, oh, the real world is this, that, and the other. It's a Ponzi scheme, this, that, and the other. But if you think about it, business school is the biggest scam on planet Earth. Because you're going to pay lots of money to go and learn from somebody who doesn't have a business. Whereas you go to the real world, on the other hand, you're being taught by people who have actually done, who've actually put in the reps and who've actually built businesses. And at the same time, what they're teaching you is what they're applying to their own businesses every single day in real time. And guess what? You're only paying $49 to gain access to millionaires. It's an underpriced asset, to be honest. And if you're not willing to bargain, if you're not willing to risk spending $50 on the real world and all that, then yeah, success is just you're just destined to be a brokey, more or less.
Mhm. Yeah, this is the 164th interview now.
Yeah.
So every single one being a testimonial. So, I mean, it would be a very elaborate scam if each person was a paid actor.
Oh yeah, we're definitely scammed. Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
we're having this interview. Definitely.
Okay, so now I want to move on to when you said about physique and using the fitness campus to your advantage. I haven't actually gone through the fitness campus myself. So, what do you find there and what has been beneficial to you?
So with the fitness campus, there's weight training, so like lifting weights and all that. There's calisthenics. If you're a guy who doesn't have access to a gym, or if you're somebody who just doesn't have the time to commute to and fro to a gym, then yeah, there's a calisthenics program. At the same time, there's also a meal plan. And one thing, like when you go to the fitness, again, understand that this personal trainer is Andrew Tate's personal trainer. So you're being taught by the same person who trains the Tate brothers. So it's kind of a win-win. So there's diet advice in there. There are various work. There's literally a whole workout plan, a diet plan, and all that. You'll also be they'll also guide you with regards to, okay, let me just rephrase this. When you're getting into fitness, there's a certain way in which you want your body to look. You have different goals. There's some people who want strength, there's some people who want aesthetics, there are people who maybe want both and all that. And they're just people who, let's say, just don't want to get the muscles, but at the same time they just want to keep fit, they just want to be healthy and all that. So the fitness campus in the real world more or less provides you with all of that stuff. It literally provides you with everything. So diet plan, meal plan, and all that. So you'd go and you'd probably be paying like $100 a month minimum if you are going to a personal trainer and all that. But in the real world, if you're not going to join to make money, but if you're somebody who really wants to stay in shape, yeah, you're better off just paying the $49. Because in a year you will spend way less money inside the real world learning about fitness than you would paying for like a month of training from some personal trainer and all that stuff who will probably scam you anyway. So yeah, you're just better off going to the real world and learning personal training again from Andrew Tate's personal trainer. Because if you want to look like the top G, you're going to get trained by the top G's trainers. So it's a double whammy, man. It's just the best course on planet Earth.
Right. And all of that included in the $50 price tag. It's insane
Yeah,
how much access you get to everything, how much value.
exactly. Plus also a network as well. So
Right. I don't know if I asked this last time. Why do you think the Tates only charge $50 for all the value that is in the real world?
because I think the Tate brothers more or less want to help everybody, like more or less escape the matrix. The matrix. It's more like a Tate thing, so I don't want to steal the Andrew Tate's lingo, but more or less with $50, I truly believe that they charge that so that at least everybody has a chance of making money. Everybody from whichever part of the world. Where I'm at, I'm Kenyan. I'm from Africa. Like literally, where I'm at, I'm in Nairobi right now. So that's more or less where I reside. And the Tate brothers charging $50 to join Hustlers University as literally okay. Now the real world now. Back then it was Hustlers Uni, but them charging $50 gives people all over the world an opportunity to escape, an opportunity to make money, and all that stuff. And I truly believe that it's a selfless act from the Tate brothers to just see to it that at least if you're somebody who's serious about making money, you can join. Because I can only imagine that when the Tates were growing up, there was no internet, and they didn't have all these people. They didn't have all these people telling them what to do, this, that, and the other. They literally had to figure it out for themselves. Whereas on the other hand, The Tates, now that they're rich and now that the internet exists and all that, and now that they have influence and now that they have a network and all that, they want to more or less give back to people and just showcase the look. We struggled, we went through ABCD to make this money so that you don't have to. Hey, just pay $50. This is more or less the shortcuts to like what we wish we would have done if we were at your position. So the Tate brothers charging this thing at charging $50 for the real world is to more or less help people gain an opportunity to escape. And also at the same time, if you're somebody who's actually serious and you work hard and you make money, you get an opportunity to be a friend to the Tate brothers and all that. So all in all, what the Tate brothers are doing is very selfless. It's a selfless act to just charge $50. Whereas they could have just made the money and they could have just gone and chilled, just banged some chicks, driving their supercars and really not care about the world. But they more or less got cancelled. They got sent to jail. They went through all that stuff just so that people like me and you can actually escape the matrix and more or less learn how to make money and learn different alternatives to just living the world, so living the life that you actually want to live.
So what you're saying, when Tate done an emergency meeting podcast, I think it was the fourth one called Origins of Wudon. That's where he is actually serious and has a serious one-on-one. I mean, alone time conversation with everyone in the live stream where one of the things he says is, I mean, I have enough money at this point to just, go out, do what you were saying. So drive supercars, sleep with women, just go complete hedonistic lifestyle, or just completely relax somewhere off grid. But instead, he chooses to do what he's doing now. So, I mean, that's an interesting podcast just in general, where he runs through his father's quotes as well. So, anyone who's interested, I definitely do recommend checking that out. Now, what kind of impact would you say Tate has had on you directly?
Also, yeah, the Tate brothers have impacted me in a very, like, in so many ways. Like, if there's one thing that I'd take from the Tate brothers is professionalism. Just how you speak, how you talk, how you dress, even how you walk, even how you do like the simplest thing, like getting on the ground, doing some push-ups, or even just more or less every single thing that you do every day must be done with an ounce of professionalism. Because nobody likes to work with an amateur. Nobody respects a clown. There's even a saying in the real world whereby nobody buys from a clown. So if you're a professional in every single thing that you do, you end up getting so many opportunities. Multiple people want to work with you. Multiple people want to start businesses with you. You get relationship opportunities. You become way fitter, you become way quicker, and you end up progressing as a whole much faster, and you're just an interesting person you're an interesting person to be around, an interesting person to listen to, and just opportunities just come to you left, right, and center. So if there's one thing I would take from the Tate brothers is just the importance of being a professional in every single thing that you do. Professionalism is just key. If you master the art of being a professional, then more or less the world is your oyster. You can literally be who you want to be. But then professionalism is just something that you must master with your hygiene, with your style, just everything. Professionalism is key. So that's one thing that I'd take from the Tate brothers.
Perfect. Again, so with everything that's going on with you now and how much you've progressed in the past 3 months, where do you see yourself heading and what plans do you have for, let's say, 6 months to 1 year down the line?
Okay, so within 6 months, of course, I want to hit 10K a month. Afterwards, I want to, because I'm actually within the process of moving out, so I'll have moved out by then. I want to join a network such as the War Room to gain access to other like-minded individuals. There are friends that I've made in the real world, so I want to travel and actually meet these people in real life. Probably buy you a whiskey as well and meet you also in real life. And yeah, that's more or less what I want to do. Within the next 6 months, I want to travel more, make more money, meet my clients in real life. Yeah, I want to meet my clients in real life, and yeah, that's more or less what I want to get within the next 6 months to a year.
Okay, very cool. And yeah, I'm sure there will be a time when our paths cross and we meet in real life. And I
Yeah,
look forward to that.
yeah, man, same here.
Okay, so wow, it's been almost 30 minutes now. So I'm happy to wrap up here. I look forward to doing another follow up with you in 3 months or so to see how everything's going and to keep you accountable for everything you're doing. So yeah, just keep in mind in 3 months, if you're not putting in the work, it's going to be an embarrassing interview.
Yeah, that
I'm
would be
joking.
horrible.
Okay, so let me end off with a final question. For people who are still unsure about joining the real world, maybe they're thinking it might be a scam for $50. What advice would you have to them?
Okay, so here's the thing. Yeah, with $50, you can do so many things with $50. You can go buy a drink, you can go hire a cheap hooker, you can do so many things with $50. But then most of the things that you're going to spend $50 on won't even benefit you in the first place. If you join the real world, worst case scenario, you lose $50. You can always get back $50. But then the best case scenario is that, yeah, you pay $50 and now you're financially free. Because it's normal to be skeptical when it comes to, spending $50. But then at the same time, it's $50. It's $50. Yeah, you don't spend $50 on the real world, but but when you don't spend the $50, you end up living in ignorance. And that ignorance will come back to bite you years later. When you see the people who actually took the risk and joined the real world, winning in life and all that stuff, you're just going to sit there thinking to yourself, you know what, I wish I actually joined the real world. There's that regret. You're way better off losing $50 and be like, you know what, at least I have nothing to regret. Whereas if you just be a pussy and you're not willing to like spend $50 on joining the real world and potentially changing your life, then yeah, you're just gonna be a brokey. Like, bro, just look at the world, how quickly the world is changing. Look at AI, just look at the incoming recession and all that. If you're somebody who genuinely cares about your finances and all that, be willing to risk $50. Because here's the thing, a couple of people will spend $500 on crypto and all that. Whereas if you pay $50, because then again, you pay $50, you'll save yourself a lot of time. Because if you don't spend $50 and you choose to figure all this stuff out by yourself, it will take you years, if not decades, to figure out like what these professors are teaching you. Whereas you join the real world, you spend $50, you will more or less be downloading decades of information within the period of a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And if you move with speed and all that, you can easily make back your $50 tenfold within your first month. Listen to the professors, do what they're saying, and you'll make the $50 back. But if you're not willing to risk $50, then yeah, eternal slavery awaits you.
Damn. I mean, it sounds harsh, but it definitely does seem to be heading that way. So
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so for people who want to find out more about you or contact you, where can they do so?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, or you can find me on Instagram at Teddy Waidaka. So that's where you can get me and all that. That's where you can contact me if you want help. And yeah, Teddy Waidaka. That's my
Yeah, I'll add
Instagram.
that to the description of the video. So anyone interested, check that. And Ted, thank you for your time and all the insights. It was great seeing you again. Great to hear the progress you're making. And
I
as I
said,
said, I look forward to the part 3.
yeah, the part three will be magnificent.